Hello everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a while since I posted. It's because I've been super busy with wrestling and BJJ. I have a tournament coming up in March, so I've been putting a lot of time in practice 2, 3 times a day, plus my work, which pretty much leave no time for me to post any more videos, but I will try to post something once in a while because I also enjoy doing that, but it's also time consuming. So today we're going to take a look at this room in TryHackMe, which is investigating Windows. A Windows machine has been hacked. It's your job to go investigate this Windows machine and find clues to what the hacker might have done. So I've already started the machine and RDP into it, which is this screen right here. So for this machine, we will be mostly use PowerShell and Event Viewer. I like to use this version of PowerShell at the ISE because it also has a script or note section where you can write script if you have to write script or whatever. So I like to use this one. So the first question for us is what's the version and year of the Windows machine? Second, which user logged in last? Third, when did John log onto the system last? So we will use PowerShell for these questions. So step number one, in any Windows investigation, the very first thing we do is to identify the environment we're working in. So we can either use system info or we can use get computer info. Both of these will give us the information that we're looking for. So they're looking for what's the version and year of the Windows machine. So we can, if we look here, we can see that it's a Microsoft Windows Server 2016 data center. So the answer we're looking for will be Windows Server 2016. Okay, so let's give get computer info also a go. We can also type it in the note section. Get computer info. We can press the little one script button. It will run it here for us. So as you can see, we also, oops, let's see, let's go all the way on the top. Get computer info give us more information than system information, but we should still be able to get the same information here as well, which is over here, Windows product name, which is Windows Server 2016 for the environment. So let's move to, so before we move forward, why we might use any of this command to get more information. As you can see, there is a whole lot of information we can find. With this to command, we can find the version, manufacturer, product ID, the installation date and time, system manufacturer, the BIOS version, etc. How much RAM is in the system, and the same thing goes for get computer information. We can also get a whole lot more information using this to command. And some of the popular one is OS version, patch level, last boot time, install hotfix. We can get these domain information and architecture, if it's a 64-bit or is it 32. So let's move to question number 2. Which user logged in last? So for this one, we need to understand user activity. So we will use event viewer for this one. So we can go to event viewer. We're gonna do Windows log, and then we're gonna do security, and then we're going to filter this. We're going to filter this to look for event ID 4624. Let me see. Let me filter current log. We're going to look for, oh shit. This thing is a little bit slow. Let me see. Let's do, let's do 4624. Let me see, security anytime. 4624. So as you can see, this event ID is for login. That's the task category we're looking for. So the question asks us which user log in last. So we can look around to see who was the last person to log in. An account was successful login. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, if we keep going on the second one, the last person would be the administrator, which was the last person to log in into the system. There are other event ID we can, oh yeah, I forgot about the detail tab, which give us a clearer, this is work group. Target user is the administrator, give us some information, the IP address of this. So the answer we're looking for is administrator. So some other event ID you guys can look for, we can look for 4625, which is for failed login attempt. If we're looking for we can also look for 4648 for explicit credential login. And also we can also check for 4672 for special 4672, which is for special privilege assigned. Those are some important event ID you can look into for user activity. So let's move to answer number 3. When did John log into the system last? Answer format, month, date, year. Okay. So now we're going to go back to PowerShell. Let's do clear. For this one, we're going to use net user. We can start with net user first to see the user and that are currently in the system. We have a guest, administrator, Jenny, and John, but they're asking us for John. So now we can use the same thing again. We can use, and then we can put John. That will give us more information about John. So as you can see, username is John, no comment. His account never expired. Password last set was 3/2, 2019. Password never expired. User may change password, yes. So what are we looking for is last login, which is over here. 3/2/2019. 3/2/2019. And then 548.32. 548.19. I think it's PM. It's PM. Let me make sure I got this one right. Oh no, it's 32, not 19. Let me see. So month, date, year, 3/2/2019, 5:48:32 p.m. So now let's move to question number 4. What IP does the system connect to when it first starts? For this one, we're going to have to look into the registry to get that information. So we can get that two ways. We can also use PowerShell to navigate through the registry, but I think it's easier if we use the GUI for that. Um, let's see, can I access edit in here? No, so I guess they don't allow that. So we're gonna have to use the PowerShell for that. So I'm gonna put this into use because we can check actually into location. So the first thing we're gonna do get item property, and then port. We're gonna look at the HKLM, which is for local machine. To be honest, I forgot what the heck is the HLKM mean. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, yeah. What is the HK local machine? HK local machine. Yep. So HKLM, and then we're gonna do backslash. We're gonna go into software, and this is another reason I like to use this. It also can help us of where we want to navigate to software, and then we're gonna look into. Let me do space. Let me see. Microsoft. We're gonna keep going further. We're gonna go into Windows. And then we're gonna do current version. Current version run. Hopefully this is correct. Let's see. Get item property, HKLM, backslash software, Microsoft Windows current version run. And then we can press run. So the point of this location is that most attackers, when they get into a machine, this is the first place they might input things to run when the machine first start to run. So there is another location we can look as well. Whatever we put in this location will run the moment the machine starts. So if you want to get persistent access to the machine, this place would be a good place to put any program, any backdoors. So whenever someone starts the machine, whatever program you put in there will also run. And also there's run once. We can also look in there. So they both kind of give the same information. So they're asking us what IP does the system connect to when it first starts. So they do have something in there that in the tip which will execute this. This will get execute, and it's actually in both of location. So the IP address will be 10.34.2.3. Let's see. 10 10:34. 3. So anything here run at startup, so that is a good thing. If you want to practice, you can try to use Metasploit on a Windows 10. You can create a persistent access. You can create a exploit, and you can create an exploit, but most machine will detect it. But you can mask it multiple times, and then you can put it in here, and then you can test it. Restart your VM, and then keep your Metasploit running to see if when the machine boot up, if you get automatically get access to the machine. So that is a good thing or lab or project you can test. So let's move to the next one. What to account had administrative privilege other than administrator user? Answer: list them in alphabetic order. So we're still gonna keep using PowerShell for this, so we can use net local group and then administrator. That will show us everyone who has admin privilege in this machine. So we can run. As you can see, we have administrator, Guess, and Jenny. Guess have admin privilege, and Jenny also have admin privilege. So we can do Guess and Jenny. So we can also do get local user. Oh, get local user only show us all the user, but this will not show us what we wanted. So let's move to what is the name of the scheduled task that is malicious. So for scheduled tasks, we can either use PowerShell or we can use the CMD. So okay, so let's use this one. So for this one, we're gonna do schedule task, task, and then we're gonna do query, FO, and list V. Oh, that's a lot. They do have a lot of stuff running in this machine. What is the name of the schedule task that is malicious? Okay, so that's everything, but it's a lot. Let's see if we can spot it to all these. Actually, it's not that much actually. Let's see, PowerShell 1, we have I guess this is how we put our detective hat on, so we can do some investigation. Let me see, get to start Windows PowerShell, no profile, Windows script, so that's not it. Let's see what else we have here. Explore, that's admin. Now, let me try PowerShell. Let me try PowerShell and see if we get the same result. We can do get. Okay, at least this one is a little bit more organized, so we can look for anything that shouldn't be here. So what could that be? Okay, let's go up. So this is the task name, and this is the state, and this is the path where they are. So we have a bad or client. We have clear file system, that look like it should not be here, but we can keep going. We have startup app, we have cleanup tip, we have prestige app cleanup proxy, we have crypto policy task, system task, user task, detailed update, and this one doesn't have any path located to it, so this one is clear file system. I think this is the one that we're looking for. Let me see. Can we access this? Okay, so we can also go here. So here, this can actually give us more details actually if we look at the GUI side. So we have a clear file system ready. It's gonna trigger at 4:55 p.m. every day. And then the operator has refused the request. It's running as administrator. So the description is a task to clear all file of the system. Trigger everyday action. This is where it's located. We can also take a look at this and to see what the heck is happening. Let's see if we can go here. Let's see, temp. So we're looking for NC. So let's open this. Let's do edit. So this is it. So this is the program that's supposed to be running. Even though this is saying something about clear file system, but I kind of see netcat running like this is more like looking like a backdoor. We have socket. This does not look like it's deleting all file system. Even though I don't quite understand everything that's taking place, but it really does not look like it's deleting all file system. We do have a returning encoded. Oh yeah, encoded is what I was looking for. Returning payload. So definitely this is malicious. The clearly clear file system is malicious, so we can clear file system. Oops, I missed something. Oh, clean, not clear, clean. Okay, so what file was the task trying to run daily? So that would be NC, I think, PS1, is that it? Yeah, so if we go here, so that's the name that it's trying to run, NC PS1 is the extension for PowerShell. Oh, look at that, we also have a scheduled as backdoor in here. So let's keep it moving. So what port did the file system locally listen for? So we can also edit it again. We can go here and then we can do some digging. We can do some digging to see what port that they put in. I do see a bunch of 800, 444. There's also another way we can also see what port if it's not in this, if it's not in here, or it might be in here, but we're having a hard time finding it. So we can do get, since we're using PowerShell, let's do net TCP connection. So we can see that we have which port that we're looking for. Let's see what port that we're looking for. Okay, let's do. So let's start. see. 13.8. Let me see something I can say. What part did the file listen to the locally for? I'm not seeing the port here though. I mean, it should be here. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. Let's see something. Okay, look, I see what's going on in here. The port is not even showing, to be honest. I know what the port is not showing. Is there a match? It's not. Big match. Things. Wait a minute. Window. Let me just do one more thing. Let me see something. Let me see one more thing. Okay, well, since this one is a little bit more complicated, well, maybe it's not complicated. Maybe I'm just not sure how to get the answer, but I do know what the answer is since I've done this already. But I don't want to spend my whole time looking for a full part, so I'm just gonna give you guys the answer for free. The part is 1348. So we can move on to more interesting things. So next, when did Jenny last log in? Easy. We did something like this before. We can do net user Jenny last. Well, I guess Jenny never used a computer, which is never. And what did the compromise take place? And what is it? What did the compromise take place? Let's see. Okay, well, according to this is where we actually have to put our detective hat on. So let's see. Let me close this. We don't need this. Let's go here. Navigate through this for a second. Let's look at something real quick. let's go. Let's look at. Let me see something. Clear filter current log. Let's look for 06 0625. Let's look at this for a second. So we have no failed login attempt in the system. We have no failed login into the system. Welcome to security. Okay, let's do clear filter. Let's do filter again. Let's do 4672, which is for special privilege assignment. It says that the model was 4672. Maybe I did something wrong. I don't see the house. Hmm. So let's get some more information on her. Let's see what happened to her account. So the account was created. Let's see. Account active. Account never expired. Password last set was on the 29th. Password change also. Same thing. Password required yes. User may change. Workstation allowed. Last login. Never. And then she was added into the administrator. So the account got created, they added to the admin group, but they never log in, so they probably use her account to do a lateral movement, lateral movement. Let me see if this is the compromise took place is for, I think the bug stop with her, which would be, let's see, 322. I think her account was the day the system got compromised. Because if we do, let's do, oops, oh, let's do John. Let's take a look at, if you take a look at John, John is not part of any admin. Last login was also on 3/2/19, so the compromise couldn't take place with his account because he's not part of the admin group. So guess, even though guess is also, but people don't use guess to do any damage. Maybe they might, but most likely they usually create an account from scratch. They usually create an account from scratch to do whatever they're trying to do into the system. Okay, during the compromise, at what time did Windows first assign special privilege to a new login? So now we have to go back to event viewers because we can take a look at that too. we can hunt down for, isn't that what I was looking for before? Let's see, filter. Didn't I look for 4672 and nothing pop up? System, let's let's see, what, there's a filter, let's do all of them. Come on. Oh well, I guess this thing is messing up my vibe now. Can we close this? Can we close this? Alright, let's open it again. Let's do event viewer. Let's see, this thing is really messing with my vibe because I'm using my own RDP. The connection might be going in and out. That's what's taking place right now. This thing keep going in and out. Yep, same thing. Okay, well, this is messing up my vibe, so I'm gonna close this. Anything with event view, I'm not gonna do anymore. So I'm just gonna give you guys again the answer for free because event view is messing up with my vibe. So it's gonna be 3/2/2019, and then the time will be 4:49 p.m. So for you guys who's following along and using event viewer, the event ID to get the answer is 4672. So that's what you filter by on event viewer to get the answer. What tool was used to get Windows password? So for this one, I'm just gonna guess this one because there's a very popular software we can use for Windows password, which is called Mimikatz. That's very popular. That's the one most people use for password. What was the attacker external control incoming server IP address? So for this one, we can navigate to we can navigate to see. We can navigate to we can check this. We can do this. Then we can look at the host file. So the IP address that's not supposed to be here will be these two, because I know for a fact that they're not www Google. That's what they use for the CC server for command and control. (132). What was the extension name of the shell uploaded via the server website? Okay, let's see, drive. Let's go over here, www what? That is a JSP. SP. What was the last part the attacker opened? So we can do that by going here and do get net firewall. What the heck was the question? What was the last part there that you opened? Oh, that thing was at the very top. unlock connection for development 1337 is a weird looking port. So let's do 1337. Check for DNS poisoning. What site was targeted? Well, that definitely was google.com, since that's what we saw on the host file. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We finally investigate a Windows machine and find out what went down in there. Event Viewer and PowerShell are two very powerful tools that can be used to investigate. I mean, there's more. We can go a little bit further by saying we can use sysinternal, which have ton of tools for investigation. But for this one, we pretty much stick to PowerShell and Event Viewer, and we were able to get all the answers, even though some of them I was not able to find. But since I've did this machine